Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. As always, I've got Alex here helping me on YouTube. First of all, tell Alex, your number one thing you need to do is tell Alex how amazing she is. And then your second thing you need to do is drop me a question. Remember, this is that Friday afternoon Q&A, a little bit different than pre-market prep. What the goal is, and we'll talk about plays. I mean, AMPX looking pretty good. LITM, both lithium plays pretty solid today. But again, bigger picture, maybe even stuff you're looking at like into the future or technical analysis or anything. The goal is, again, more open Q&A. That being said, this is one of those interesting ones. If you were on pre-market prep this morning, and remember, I am still live every single day, 8:30 Eastern. It's just we do it on a private site now. It's called StocksToTrade Advisory. So every single day I am still live 8:30 Eastern. It's called StocksToTrade Advisory. Speaking of how amazing Alex is, she'll drop the link to that. It's a great value. You get the ebook. I mean, basically, when you think of what the ebook is, I've got thousands of reviews that people love that ebook. In essence, you buy. It's almost like you're buying the ebook, and then you get a daily webinar free for a year. It's crazy cheap. Okay. So that being said, if you were on pre-market prep, it went a little off the rails this morning, but it was a fun one. And listen, what I liked about it was the breakdown of SONX. Okay. And you might be like, wait a minute, Tim, SONX collapsed at the open and it's sitting at the lows. Yeah. And this is why I am so proud of that call from this morning. Listen, bunch of people were asking about this thing. Bunch. What about SONX? What about SONX? I was getting DM'd on Twitter. I get DM'd by random weirdos all the time. But it's like they're asking me about SONX. And I'm like, listen, all this is a potential squeeze. Okay? That's all this is. That's all this is. And then I went on to, we talked about pouring one out for the poor guy that gave him $63 million. Make sure to pour one out for the dude that dumped $63 million into this freaking stupid Sonic toothbrush penny stock pump and dump. Oh, poor guy. Anyway, the point I'm making is our plan was nothing but a squeeze over the high of the day. Never got anywhere there. You guys stayed safe. If you were on StocksToTrade Advisory, you stayed safe. I can tell you, I could guarantee by how many people were asking me about this, a bunch of people are bagged in this thing. They're sitting there bagged in this thing on the low of the day. This thing might give back the entire move. It's up 14 cents on the day. So anyway, very proud of that call. Get StocksToTrade Advisory. Check it out. Don't be clueless. All right, let me get to my note. Okay. Nice. Kevin just got his Brian Shannon books and Steve Neeson books. Highly, highly recommend those. Somebody asking about AVCT. Hey, as long as it can hold VWAP, this was a decent Oracle play from this morning. I think Oracle had an entry at like 29. Really struggling, or 30. Well, let me look. Let me, where is it? Let me sort. Yeah, sort. ABCT. I think it was 39, which it's struggling with right now. 38. So Oracle had a 38 signal, did go to 42. So, I guess as long as it can hold this afternoon support, but man, it's got to do something. Please don't, especially in this world we are in, be very, very careful holding anything overnight. It's a bummer. It's a bummer, and it's just a reality. The post you can't crane world, it's very shaky. So I wouldn't panic at this point, but you're coming up on the close. If this doesn't do something, just take it off, reassess on Monday. Okay. It's just, again, over the weekend. I mean, listen, we got World War III talk. Okay. Just very dangerous to hold over the weekend. So that being said, LITM, yeah, that we talked about again on pre-market prep. That 3 break was a nice break of 3, went all the way to 350. I see several people in the Steady Trade team did pretty well on this. A lot of people ain't at the low 3s, out at the mid 3s. Nice trade on a day like today. I mean, there's not a million setups out there. And then ANPX is beautiful. If you remember, this is one we talked about last week after that big spike. And then very day 3 surgy once it broke 14, basically. So again, if you took, and again, I know it's day 4, but remember the idea behind the day 3 surge pattern, it's, sometimes it's 3 days, sometimes it's 4 days, basically less than a week. Okay. So you had that big move on the 20th, which would be Tuesday. Sideways grind Wednesday, a little bit of a perk up on Thursday, and then you got the break of the day, break of Tuesday's highs at 14. That would have been your buy signal. We did talk about that this morning. And, if you're in it, let it work. As long as it can stay above this Oracle level 1450, let it work, but be out by the weekend. I just so. James Sissel Ellie, what's the hottest sector? Right now, James, the most warming up sector. I don't consider it hot yet, but the lithium stuff, AMPX, LITM, and others. Okay, so there are what's CO. So we don't have a full hot sector right now, but what's YCO? What's up with this? Oh, SEC coming down. Ooh, ouch. SEC, ouch. Anyway, I just saw this halted. SEC's coming after these guys. Anyway, I just saw the halt alert. What was I saying? Oh, AMPX. Hot sector. So the warming up, we're not there yet, but the warming up sector is the lithium stuff. Stephanie says, thanks for keeping us safe. Again, and I'm assuming Stephanie's mentioning SONX. Again, my thing is the trade plans that we go over every day, whether it be in StocksTrade Advisor or the Steady Trade team, I always say this, they're very conservative entries. Okay. I teach I keep joking about getting the shirt made. So write this down, okay? I teach how to trade the most volatile stocks in the safest manner possible, okay? Somebody make me that shirt. Now, why? Okay, because listen, I know a lot of you probably listen to the podcast. Years and years and years, I would say this all the time on the podcast. It's like, your number one goal as a new trader is to stay in the game, okay? And again, this is where I always joke about people, I can see people closing this YouTube right now. As I say these words, I can feel people clicking, forget this guy, whatever. You ready? Get ready to close the webinar. As a new trader, your job isn't to make money. I just lost half my viewers. They're like, Tim, I want a Lambo. Tim, I want a yacht. You're telling me I'm not here to make money? No. If you're new, you're not here to make money. You're here to stay in the game. And that might mean you're break even or slightly red or slightly green. Tim Gertani, 9 months, okay? The golden boy, okay? The golden boy, arguably the greatest penny stock trader of all time, okay? 9 months. So your goal is to not blow up, not get bagged in SONX, not have not be looking at some 50% loss in something because you bought it at 165 and you're still in it at 1, okay? So again, for the 3 of you that are still here that didn't close this, EVTL getting ready to break out. Stay in the game, my friends. Make sure you're focused on the right stuff, okay? Learning, getting 1% better. Because if you're focused on, as a new trader, if you're focused on the Lambos and the yachts, it ain't gonna end well. Yeah, nice all day grind, light volume EVTL. Yeah. So who asked? Yeah, G Zilligon. Yeah, this thing gets real interesting over, if it can push up in the 8s, very nice. Is there any news? This is that, there's a lot of news about these like electric planes and stuff. Volume sucks, but nice chart. Thank you. So this one, I remember this one from about a month ago. Thank you, G Zilligon. Thank you. Light volume, but nice chart. Is 300 to 500 really enough for a small account? So bullseye. Okay, bullseye. I'm going to answer your question to the 3 people that didn't close this webinar when I told them it wasn't about Lambos. Bullseye, you can learn how to trade with a $500 account. One more time. And I promise you, it's true. You can learn how to trade with a $500 account. Are you going to make big bucks? Are you going to make medium bucks? Are you going to make little bucks? But you can learn the mechanics. If you're trading, 50 shares of LITM and you make 20 bucks, that you're learning. And focus on the percent gains, focus on growing your account. Now again, freaking, was that a fly? Jeez, oh Pete. I got a rabid fly in here. Anyway, he's trying to kill me. So what you can do is you can build good habits, make good trades, maybe put $100 a month into your account, do like a payroll deduct, okay? So now you're learning, and hey, maybe your account's at $600 in a month, okay? You're not gonna live on $600. You're certainly not gonna buy a Lambo with $600. Then you drop $100 in from your paycheck. Now you're at $700. Maybe you make $50 the next month. You put $100 in. Now you're at what? $800, and you can keep doing that if you're disciplined and you focus on the process. Now, flat out, are you gonna make again real money with a $500 account? No, you're not. You're not. But you can learn how to trade. And now, a year from now, maybe you got a couple grand in your account, but you got knowledge too. Listen, my buddy Tim Sykes, I remember the day we were on stage in Orlando, okay? And we came up with the knowledge account together. He uses it all the time. We came up with that together, Sykes. Anyway, he uses it all the time because it's a true analogy. And we collaborated on that idea. EVTL, beautiful. So you're building your real account, $50, you're dropping $100 in, but you're building your knowledge account. So now a year later, you got $1,200 in there, but you've got the knowledge. So anyway, I'm going on and on and the reason I'm dragging this so out is I want all of you to understand that it doesn't matter what your account size is in the beginning, okay? And I know I'm just kind of looping on this, but it's so important. Because where could you be a year from now? Or here's what if you started a year ago doing this process? Think about that. You can't get that time back. So if you're trading small, risking small, and you're not focused on the money, but the process, think where you can be in a year. Okay? What's the quote? People, what is it? People underestimate or they overestimate what they can get done. I don't know. You know the quote. Everyone knows the quote. It's escaping me. But don't underestimate the value of time. It's like a Bill Gates quote or something. Sober. Yeah, Sober coming back. Geez, AMPX. Man, AMPX, beautiful. So, yeah, if it could break the high day. Somebody says Sober's back. Nah, not yet. Sober needs more news. So remember, this was that play from the other day with the NTSB news. There needs to be more chatter. Now keep Sober on your watch. Low float stock. I mean, listen, this thing ran 400% the other day. I think we just put up a video on Sober. Sober was really cool. It might be on the YouTube or maybe it's coming. It might be coming this weekend. Great example of an afternoon mover. Keep it on watch. It's dead until they start talking more about that. Requiring breathalyzers in the cars. Wait. So, Alex says the Sober videos tomorrow. So cool. So, another good question, guys. Thank you for the Q&A. So thank you. So Alfredo, can I learn by trading 2 days a week? Alfredo, here's where I'm going to be. I mean, listen, a lot of you guys know me. I can be pretty aggro and kind of a hard ass. Alfredo, no. I mean, Alfredo and Alfredo and all of you, why only 2 days a week? Now listen, Alfredo, if you've got a job that you can't, access your phone, if you've got a job that, if you're working like, you're like a fireman or something and you're working 18-hour days, then I'll cut you some slack. So if you've got some sort of job, again, like maybe you're a fireman and you can't access your phone and you're working 18-hour days or you're a doctor or something, but why can't you commit to at least studying 5 days a week, running scans 5 days a week, journaling 5 days a week? And now this is where I'll challenge you, Alfredo. I did it when I got started. When I got started, I had a business and 2 little kids, okay? 2 toddlers. This is 2006, 2007. And I started getting up at 5 a.m. So, and I studied till the kids got up about 8. So I put in 3. Did I want to get up at 5 a.m. and sit there and run scans and review the day and see what the charts did and watch courses and read books? No, but I did it. But if now again, I will excuse you if you have some sort of job where that's just where you can't. It's probably not for you. I mean, and that goes for all of you guys. And remember, they call me the stock market dad for a reason. Okay, but it won't work. If you can only commit 2 days a week, it won't work. And I'm sorry. I love you and I wish you all the best, but nope. What's the difference between the Daily Income Trader program and the Steady Trade team, Tyler? So the Daily Income Trader system is something new that we are offering. It's basically the biggest difference is Daily Income Trader is a system built on top of the platform as well as daily alerts, but you don't get the intense mentorship of the Steady Trade team. So again, what I would do, Tyler, is reach out to support and they could give you all the list. But the biggest shortcut answer is basically the Daily Income Trader system is Oracle. It's the platform. It's breaking news. It's Tim Sykes Trader Checklist 1 and 2. It's a bunch of amazing stuff. But it does not include the 2 or 3 daily webinars that I do every single day. That's the Steady Trade team. The Steady Trade team is absolute immersion. Hours and hours with me a day, basically. That's the difference. What are your thoughts on using leverage, bullseye? The fact that you ask and understand when I say this, I'm not picking on anybody, but the fact that you're asking about using leverage means you shouldn't be using it. Man, I'm full. This is like the most like downer Q&A I think I've ever done. But if you're asking about leverage, but I mean this. If you're asking about using leverage, you shouldn't be using it. Okay. The only time you should be using leverage is if you're consistently profitable. And so many people screw this up. Okay. Because the thing is, remember, leverage is awesome, but it's a blade that cuts both ways. Okay. Margin accelerates your gains, but also accelerates your losses. Okay. And if you're new and you're asking that question, it means you probably don't have very solid risk management, and you probably don't have very solid trade plans, discipline, etc. So if you don't have think about it. If you don't have discipline, do you think leverage would be a good idea? And you can build discipline over time. Okay. Like, here's my dumbest analogy. Okay. Have you guys are familiar with trigger discipline, right? Okay. This will probably get me banned from YouTube for some reason. So anyway, when we talk about trigger discipline, it's a firearms term. And basically what trigger discipline is, you never put your finger on that trigger unless it's go time, okay? You'll see everybody in the pictures, okay? You got that finger out to the side. And you do that because, especially if you're in like a CQB type situation, like a close quarters situation, you can shoot your buddy in the back, okay? You bump into him, you got that finger on the trigger, all of a sudden you just shot your buddy in the back. Or you shot your freaking wife or something, okay? And bear with me. Again, this will probably get me banned from YouTube. That trigger discipline's leverage, okay? And if you're running around with your finger on the trigger, it's just like running around using leverage when you're not consistently profitable. Bad things are going to happen. You put that finger on the trigger when it's go time. Now, when you're consistently profitable, things are working, that's when the finger goes on the trigger. Mike Leclerc, awesome. Mike, Alex directed you towards the, oh yeah. Well, Bullseye again. Okay, Bullseye. Hey, again, with a small account, I know there's temptation to use leverage, but I would beg you not to. Yeah. So kind of going back to the discussion earlier, just, I get it. I get the temptation, but no. So, and again, I'll probably get comments about how everybody hates me, but Connie says she has a hard time with figuring risk to reward. Can you explain that more? So Connie, one of the best ways to do it, and I tell you, I can't recommend it enough, but using something like a systematic approach like Oracle, okay? So this is the trade plan on S-Pro from yesterday. And so you can see, and this is yesterday morning on S-Pro, so you can see the red and green circle, which both that red and that green circle were aided by technical analysis as well as Oracle areas. So the idea was the break at 230 was the entry. The risk was a fail on 2, so that means 30 cents of risk. And then the goal was 3+. S-Pro went to 318. So the idea is if you've got a tool, and and again, like Alex said, she already dropped the link in chat. I'm telling you, check out Oracle because it guides you through all. Now listen, it doesn't guarantee you'll win on the trade, but it gives you stops and goals. I mean, that's something a lot of people, they turn winners into losers because they overstay. So, and then again, somebody at the beginning of the webinar mentioned they bought Brian Shannon's book. Brian Shannon's book, Technical Analysis Using Multiple Time Frames, great book that I I still use techniques from that book. I bought it in 2009 to use the chart to guide you through trades. So get on pre-market prep, learn. So Alfredo says, I got 15K. Do I do cash or margin? Alfredo, I'd tell you to do cash because remember, when you do a margin account, now you're stuck under the PDT. Now with a cash account, you still got to deal with the settlement and stuff. But listen, it's just a different time now. And like 10 years ago, when shorting penny stocks was all the rage, you had to have a margin account. It's like when you look at stuff like S-Pro or LTIM, EVTL, AMPX, there's Moho. There are still so many long, we had like 5 good long setups today. You just don't need a margin account, and with 15K, you can, again, everybody, we're kind of sticking on the same topics, but they're good topics. The only reason you need a margin account when you're learning is if you want to short. And especially if you're new, I just don't think you need to short right now. So. Why not enter sooner in the run up to the red circle? Listen, Tyler, we, actually I got a link. Yeah. Right here. So right here is, so we had, that's again, the great thing about the Steady Trade team and the best plays of the day. Listen, S-Pro was incredible. S-Pro was incredible yesterday. And what you're looking at, I don't know how well you can see this on screen because I run a high refresh rate. But at 6:59 a.m. yesterday, we broke it all down and we talked about a 185 entry as well in pre-market. So Ken F says, thought this would have died by now. Let's see how it handles that 185 Oracle level. I then said, hey, it's a former runner. It's got a gap to fill, kind of low float, good volume, decent news. I don't like the timing of the PR, but it checks a lot of boxes. Then I said, whoa, wait, great volume. I thought it was 4 million. It's actually 14 million. And I said, remember, every single runner the day before was trading at 5 million at 9 a.m. So that's 7 a.m. on S-Pro yesterday. And, it broke 185 at a little after 7 and went to 228. So, there you go. It's there. So, all right, guys, good stuff today. I enjoyed this. I know we stuck on small accounts and margin a lot, but I think it was great discussion. It was good stuff. And, have a great day. Make sure to get the weekend watch list. And we'll see you Monday morning live on YouTube, 8:30 Eastern.